After years of experience with GoPros and action cameras alike, I've created a bunch of valuable tips to help you step up your video making game with GoPro. From setting up your camera to telling a story to where to find music for your video, these 5 GoPro tips will help you improve your video production process substantially and eventually make better videos. Hey, I'm Andy, filmmaker and author of Project GoPro, a GoPro training school. On the site, link in the description, you can find over 150 free tutorials that will help you get started making videos with your GoPro. And by the way, I've also created a GoPro settings cheat sheet that has already helped thousands of people getting around with GoPro settings. You'll find the link in the description if you want to download it. It's free. But now, without further ado, let's get started. GoPro tip number 1: tell a story. Everything goes around the story. There is no film without one. People are curious, and you need to tell a story to catch their interest. And so let me ask you one question that you should ask yourself before making any video. What's the story that you want to tell? You should be able to say this in a sentence or two. That could be going surfing with a bunch of friends on a sunny Sunday, for example. It doesn't have to be complex. And it's actually quite simple, but it has a beginning, a middle, and an end. That's all you need. Breathtaking shots can only make it better, so focus on your story first. Here on the screen you can see a storyline graph. It's like how I structure a story, how stories in videos are usually structured. You'll see that every story starts with an introduction, which is usually character introduction, setting, and genre establishment. After the introduction, the story needs to build up slowly to then reach the climax, which is the turning point in the movie. It's where conflict is discovered and addressed, ideally in a way that keeps your viewer insanely glued to the screen, waiting to find out what happens next. Then we end with conclusion. This is where the problems are solved, there is winners and losers, and you send the message, the main message. You conclude the whole movie by sending a message, the morals, and so on. Now that we know how to structure a story, let's move on to GoPro tip number 2. Plan your shots. Most people do absolutely no planning, no thinking, no story, no preparation, nothing at all. This is why they make bad videos. This is why they make boring videos that fade away with the majority of the content out there. Taking this route makes the likelihood of creating a good video wishful thinking. If you commit to being a little more creative and try a little harder, your videos will be 10 times better, trust me. You realize that at the beginning, when you don't know video making so much, you maybe just bought a GoPro, you're just starting out, let's say, people tend to shoot everything that seems interesting at that moment in time. But this is not really ideal, because then you'll end up having so much footage when you come back home and you don't really know, you get confused of what to include and what to exclude, and eventually you will include a lot of stuff, a lot of footage, which makes it boring for your audience, especially for people who weren't with you, who didn't have the experience with you. So to make it interesting, try to plan your shots a little bit before and include just the things that are important. So how do you plan your shots? If you're creating a complex video, like something long and quite complex, a storyboard will help you keep things clean and organized. In fact, when I create complex videos, I note down what I would like to do so that I'm prepared for the shooting. Sometimes I use storyboard fountain that easily allows you to create storyboards on your phone or PC. It's simply an app or a website that you can find it online for free. But if you're creating a simple video, like a day out with your friends, and you just want to document it without creating any storyboard or something complex, you might not need to note everything down for simple videos, right? But make sure your shots will have an easy to follow storyline with an intro, a body, and an end. Just keep it in your mind, but make sure you have this kind of key scenes to then include in your videos. Alright, GoPro tip number 3. Keep it short, 10 seconds clips. Take a second to think about how long a shot lasts in an actual professional video. Just think about it. It's seconds, right? This is why ESPN uses 45 different cameras pointed at one game. In fact, I challenge you to find a TV show or movie that uses the same camera angle for more than 10 seconds. It's quite rare, so why should you do it, right? Let's make this challenge. Next time you're shooting a video, record for no more than 10 seconds and then move. If you have a shot list like we just talked about, you'll have a ton of great angles to choose from. With longer scenes, film the same shot from 2 or 3 different angles. It's way more watchable, trust me. Alright, let's move on. GoPro tip number 4, create interest. Some videographers feel like they need to lay out the entire story in the first 10 seconds of the film or the video. It's actually not necessary. In fact, I find that it's better to get the viewer's brain firing up by opening the doors to questions or making them draw their own conclusions about what they're seeing, right? Excellent videos take you on a journey of discovery. Don't show everything to you at the beginning, otherwise there is nothing left afterwards. Alright, so let's move on to the last tip, which is GoPro tip number 5, great lightings, great shots. Light plays a crucial role in photography and videography. It's the one element that can make or break your videos if it's not harnessed correctly and strategically. So some key tips are: number 1, shoot a golden hour or sunset or sunrise and avoid direct light because it makes the footage too crispy and it could actually overexpose your videos. At the same time, try to avoid dark places and also watch your white balance. If you know what you're doing, set it to manual mode, otherwise stick to the auto mode, but make sure that the camera sets the right white balance when you start recording. If you keep it on auto, the GoPro would actually set the white balance automatically based on the first frame that it takes when you start to record. So make sure that you actually point where you actually want to film and then press rec. Lastly, avoid light polluted settings. Alright, and that was my GoPro 5 tips of the week. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and remember that you don't need any fancy camera, expensive accessories, or even the latest GoPro to tell impactful stories or to make your videos look way more cinematic and better. Most of the times, even just the camera of your cell phone or a GoPro is enough to capture moments that you will be proud to watch years from now. Just imagine that today these little cameras alone can record videos of higher quality and resolution than old cinema cameras that have shot Hollywood's movies. It's just incredible. So stop wasting money on equipment and start investing in yourself by acquiring the skills that you need to make better videos and tell amazing stories. I believe it's the only way to get where you want to go, and I'm here to help you out in this journey. So make sure you smash the subscribe button and put a like if you like this video, and I'll see you next week. Ciao!